When's the last time you were pleasantly surprised by something? Like you had absolutely zero expectation, but ended up receiving 110% satisfaction. You said it's never happened to you before. That's very sad, but play Hi-Fi Rush then. Made by Tango Gameworks, the developers of the Evil Within franchise, and published by Big Boy Bethesda, Hi-Fi Rush is a rhythm-based character action game. And if you love yourself, you be playing the game right now, G. Let me explain. In Hi-Fi Rush, the player takes control of a college dropout named Chai. No Yeezy. Chai thinks he's a rock star, but it can only be his spirit because his right arm is missing the same way his common sense and work ethic are, bro. How you gonna play guitar if you ain't got no fingers, bro? That's why we're here right now. Because one thing I will say about my son Chai is that even though he's not as intelligent as some of his peers are, that boy is proactive. He's gonna sign up for the Project Armstrong experiments just so he could have the chance to look a little bit less like future Gohan and a little bit more like my son Elwood Elric. Can we clap it up for this good man right here? Full Metal Alchemist. But they scammed him. Chai 419. Instead of his arm coming out looking juicy like a Big Mac when it looks like on a TV, his hand is coming out looking like what is really. But my earlier comment on Chai being a rock star in spirit remains true, because his Dinky Winky iPod player gets latched to his chest during the experiments, which makes Vandalay, the company responsible for these experiments, deem Chai to be a defect, which allows them to be set up as the antagonist for the duration of the game. But you see, my brother in Christ, what somebody might see in you as a defect is something that you could take and use to effect the world around you in positive ways, my brother. Hallelujah! Because even though Chai literally has a rubbish hand, his heart is telling him he's a rock star. And thus he ends up being able to use the magnets in his arm to generate a guitar and start living in his purpose. So while he's off doing that, I gotta talk about the visuals. I have absolutely nothing but respect for the team at Tango Gameworks. In this era where game studios stagnate by success, often choosing to remain snugly within the confines of whichever game franchise will be most likely to give them a Game of the Year award, I'm looking at you, Naughty Dog. Used to be cool. How your game gonna be called The Last of Us and it's 3 of them shits? Tango Gameworks stepped bravely away from the trappings of their previous output and produced a work with an unfazed utilization of delicious primary colors blocked together beautifully underneath a shimmering blue sky, with artificial sound effects synced to every hop, chop, and step that you make in this game. The whole thing just spoke to me like somebody who cares about me would, because it knew exactly what had to keep my attention. The game, clean in presentation and clear in its own identity, has stepped in and made a space for itself in my head and my heart. Its neighbors being Scott Pilgrim and Invincible, all three sharing that similar polish of having that vibrant merge of comic book and anime influences in art style, awkward but endearing characters, and a setting which is just that 1 foot outside of our own reality that allows us to become fully immersed in the dang shit that all 3 series have to offer. Is Chai, is he biting Scotty? Is he biting my nigga Scotty style, man? Cause I see him with a guitar first. I want to call the style like modern youth comic, but the fact that Hi-Fi Rush has taken cell shading to such another level that I can even compare it to 2 other printed pieces of media just goes to show how dedicated the Tango Gameworks team was to making this game visually appealing, and the art direction that they had behind it as well. For example, I myself actually had just started learning how to do 3D modeling a couple months before this game came out, and using Skillshare. Imagine. Wait, man better sponsor me soon, man. As I was saying, as somebody who is like beginning to understand the inner workings of how 3D modeling works, looking at the models in this game just massages my brain. The shape and form of every model in this game is immensely satisfying to look at. The thickness and structure that can be found in this game's architecture makes me feel like I'm really looking at the work of an artist who meticulously drew all of these locales with the straightest metal ruler that he could have found in his stationery. I probably spent about an hour cumulatively just looking at the building. You can clearly see line weight differences in between models at different angles. Like, this is actually insane. One detail that blew my mind was when your player character comes close up to like an object in a darkly lit area, you can actually see the shadow that your character casts on the object. But it's not like a regular shadow, it's actually cross-hatched like a real comic book. I still it's blow my brain. I don't know how they did that. How do you do like can somebody actually comment how they do that? It's so the character designs in this game are uniquely traditional. My favorite example of that being Chai's scarf. Because even though at face value it's just that, a scarf, you could also see it as like a traditional superhero's cape. And I think that just fits his character so perfect. Starting off as just a rock star for show, and eventually becoming the legitimate leader of a band. Little shit like that just do it. And that same design mentality also crosses its way over into the gameplay. Hi-Fi Rush is as tried and true of a character action game as you can find. If you've played Devil May Cry before, you know how to play this game. But at the same time, you kinda don't. Yeah, they got the million stab, yeah, they got the stinger, they got all the move to your step. However, you gotta do it to the beat this. The game rewards you for timing your button presses to the tempo of the music in-game. So in a way, this game kind of teaches you how to play action games better because it punishes you for just mashing. And you've got multiple extra characters to help you string together combos as well during gameplay. So one aspect that I really like about this is that when you're on a roll using all of your weapons and all of your characters in sync with the music actually begins to arpeggio and like grow with your actions. So it makes everything just more epic the better you're playing the game. Like it makes the music sound more grandiose the better you are at playing the game. Like that shit is just so crispy, bro. I gotta clap for these man. Another aspect I want to give Hi-Fi Rush major props for is its movement. For me, movement makes games. So having the movement feel so free, in addition to being rewarded for going in time with the tempo, was already a major W. So for them to just go ahead and take that extra step again and turn this shit into a platformer, oh, they trying to do something to me with this game, bro. I'm telling you, as soon as this shit went in a 2.5D perspective and turned itself into New Super Mario Bros. Chai, oh, bro, I had to stand up on my seat and give him a standing ovation. Such a fresh aspect to add into such a prestigious genre of game, and they've done it swimmingly. I just can't have anything but props for Tango Gameworks, honestly. It does so much to further diversify a gaming experience that already had a stupefying amount of depth. I really just have to give nothing but props to this studio. I want to speak on other miscellaneous aspects of this game that impressed me before this review concludes. The quality of this game's visual presentation cannot be understated. I myself made a 3D animation that has 2D comic book transitions before this game came out, and I was like, damn, if I was crispier at this, or if I had a studio that could help me make something like this, it'd be even tastier. And then Hi-Fi Rush just spawned into existence for me, bro. They was already doing what I was trying to do, bro. There's an abundance of lovable pricks in this game, which just so happens to be my favorite character archetype. Everyone except for Macaron is incredibly self-serving, but their character interactions are so charming. I can't help but wait for the next cutscene or the next line of dialogue. This is the first time I've actually properly laughed at strictly like the dialogue, like the writing of the game. That's never happened to me before. I usually don't even say things like this, but I truly believe they should turn this into a show, like an actual, like maybe 8 episode season or show similar to Invincible. I think that would be pretty dope. Like after the aftermath of what's happened in the game. I think that would really work. Although I'm not familiar with their discography, having the boss music be 9 Inch Nails tracks just so beautifully adds another layer of texture to this game. Because imagine it's a song you already knew. You'd already know all the beats. I'm sure on your first time playing this game, you would have been flipping, slapping all of the bosses, bro. Because you already know the tempo, innit? I like all of the sound effects that happen when you make a button press in timing with the music. But I really, really appreciate how the walls, like even the lining on the walls, bounces in accordance with the music. Just like everything else. I mean, Chai even walks to the tempo of the song. But that little wall detail, like that shit just too tasty, bro. Boss battles. Now, I'm a little bit strange. I really don't like boss battles that much in games. They make me sweat. But in Hi-Fi Rush, even I have to say they are one of the standout parts of this game. One thing I have always been a big fan of is rival battles, but they usually always shit. Like Devil May Cry is the only series that I've played that I know that they are like actual boss battles, and that makes them satisfying to me. So to have the boss battles in this game function like character battles is, I like this game, man. Having the battles framed this way makes everything a lot more personal, allowing us to connect better with the beautiful character designs that they have for the antagonists in this game. Shout out Rekka, shout out Corsica, shout out Corsica. My favorite boss fight is against Mimosa. The way the opening platforming section transitions so seamlessly into Michael Jackson's 1993 Super Bowl performance. Oh, hey, these man are having fun with this game, bro. And then in the second or third stage of the fight, it just straight turns into Space Channel 5. Like, I think they actually do the moves from Space Channel 5. Like, this game really impressed. I just hope you know I don't have, this is not really a review because I don't have anything bad to say about the game. I don't have a single bad thing to say about this game, bro. I also really like how 808 made 808 sound effects. That's and then even the little song that they made at the end where they were like, "We put so much effort into this. Please don't complain," or however that shit goes at the end of the credits. Nah, bro. They made this game with love, man. And I love the game back. Shit's not even been out for over a month, and it's already one of my favorite games ever. And I done played a lot of games, man. All in all, Hi-Fi Rush is a truly complete work. Despite having virtually zero marketing before release, this game has earned its spot as something worth talking about. And I'm happy to say that playing this game was a pleasant surprise. And I also like Vandelay's Iron Man suit. And I also like the wolf guy. And I also like the twist at the end. And I also like the look. Thank you for those who have made it to the end of this video. I truly appreciate it. If you liked what I had to say, give the video a like, share it with your friends, and go and play Hi-Fi Rush. It's on Steam, it's on Xbox. I don't know if they're going to release it on PlayStation. And please also comment down below anything that you would like to add to whatever I've said in this video. I really do look forward to start seeing like conversation in the comments down below regarding some of these topics. So please feel free to comment down there if you have something you have to say. But aside from that, thanks very much for watching the video, and yeah, God bless.